Welcome to a meeting of the Brockton City Council for April 12th, 2021. Would you please rise and salute the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, councilors. To those of you who are watching this meeting at home, this meeting is being held in accordance with Governor Charlie Baker's signed open meeting law, order dated March 12th, 2020, which relieves a public body from the requirements of Section 20 of Chapter 30A, that it conducts its meetings in a public place that is open and physically accessible to the public, provided that the public body makes provision to ensure public access to the deliberations of the public body for interested members of the public through adequate alternative means. The City Council members, staff, and certain invited guests with matters on the agenda will attend the meeting in person in Council chambers at Brockton City Hall. Out of respect for public health and in response to the Governor's declared state of emergency, this meeting will be closed to the public, and interested parties can instead access the deliberations via a live stream at www.youtube.com/user/the Brockton channels/live or on local Brockton community access channels. Item number 1, Madam Clerk.
Acceptance of the minutes of the March 22nd, 2021 City Council meeting.
Accepted and filed.
Appointment of Jacqueline Murphy of 138 Torrey Street, Brockton, Mass. to the Diversity Commission for a 3-year term ending April 2024.
Referred to Finance Committee.
Appointment of Timothy J. Cruise to the position of Assistant City Clerk for the City of Brockton.
Referred to the Finance Committee.
Petition of National Grid to install new pole P5-84, 65 feet west of existing pole P5 in order to relocate guy wire off the tree to new pole for number 178 Channing Ave. In City Clerk's office, March 16, 2021. Hearing assigned for April 12, 2021. All paperwork's on file.
Time having arrived, I declare the hearing open. Is there anyone here in favor of this petition? If so, please come forward to the lectern and give your name and address to the clerk.
Hello, my name's Simon Young. I'm one of the Brockton engineers over in East Ashland Street, and I favor this petition. This is per the customer at Butter's request at 138 Channing Ave, and they request us to remove the tree guy, so we are replacing that with the pole 5-84, and that will help support the dead-end pole at pole 5 for that street.
All right, any questions, councilors? Is there anyone else here in favor? Anyone else here in favor? If not, I declare that portion of the hearing closed. Is there anyone here in opposition? I did notify the officer that if someone was outside and wanted to speak on this petition, they could come in. Is there anyone here in opposition? If not, I declare that portion of the hearing closed. This will be voted on at the end of the meeting.
Petition of Hannoush Jewelers, George Hannoush of 170 Quarry Road, West Springfield, Mass. for a new secondhand precious metal and gems license located at 200 Westgate Drive, Brockton.
Referred to the Public Safety Committee.
Report of the Finance Committee for its meeting of April 5th, 2021.
Accepted and filed.
Communication from Councillor Timothy Cruise submitting his resignation from the Brockton City Council as Ward One City Councillor, effective Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021, as presented by him at the City Council meeting of March 22nd, 2021.
Accepted and filed.
From the Council President, appointing Ward 3 Councillor Dennis R. Eaniri as Ordinance Committee Chairperson due to the resignation of Councillor Timothy Cruise as Ordinance Committee Chairperson.
Accepted and filed.
From the Mayor notifying the City Council that Reginald Thomas of 161 Kevin Road, Brockton, Mass. has resigned from the Planning Board effective April 7th, 2021.
Accepted and filed.
From the Chief of the Police Department requesting authorization to expend donated funds from Hawkeye Fence, LLC to be used exclusively towards the purchase of a new canine and equipment as needed for the Brockton Police Department in the amount of $1,000.
Accepted and filed.
From the Mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and filed.
From the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and filed.
From the library director requesting an outstanding Midwest tape bill in the amount of $341.82 from fiscal year 2020 budget be paid with the fiscal year 2021 budget. There was confusion with Midwest Tape in sending paper bills. When the library became aware of the issue, it was quickly addressed.
Accepted and filed.
From the mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and filed.
From the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and filed.
From the chief of the police department requesting authorization to expend funds related to the Massachusetts Chiefs of Police Association opioid prevention grant from the Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America in the amount of $5,000.
Accepted and filed.
From the mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and filed.
From the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and filed.
Acceptance of the reconsideration from the council president, Winthrop Farwell, filed in the city clerk's office on Wednesday, March 24th, 2021. Ordered acceptance and expenditure of the total grant award in the amount of $165,100 from the Massachusetts Department of Transportation Highway Division Shared Winter Streets and Spaces Program to the City of Brockton Planning and Economic Development Shared Winter Streets and Spaces Program.
Councilors, I filed reconsideration pursuant to the city charter. I'm going to ask you in a minute to vote against reconsideration, but I do want to share some information with you that occurred as a result of my filing this reconsideration. There was a Zoom meeting held with the Chief of Staff, with Councillor Thompson, Councillor Eaniri, and Councillor Nicastro to ask questions about the plans that were submitted after the meeting and questions about where the grant and how the grant could be used. In that conversation, it came to light that we have a structure that has been erected by a property owner in that area of the Bat Bus Terminal that encroaches upon city property. There were questions about liability if someone were to fall off that structure. Obviously, we want to protect the city. So the long and short of it is that the city solicitor is working on all of those issues. They will be straightened out with property owners. There'll be a license agreement for the use of any property. There will be protection against any liability for the city. So I do want to see the grant go forward, and I do want to see the improvements that hopefully that money will bring. So at this time, for me, I would be against reconsideration so that the money can be expended and we can proceed with the work. I don't know if Councillor Eaniri or Councillor Nicastro or Thompson would want to add anything to that, but they did participate.
Questions on reconsideration only. This discussion follows.
Can't hear him.
Reconsideration is accepted. This discussion follows it. If reconsideration is refused or rebuked, then it's just, that's the start and the end of it, and the vote stands from the previous.
No,
meeting.
I wasn't looking for discussion. I didn't know if they had any just general information, but we can proceed, and as I say, I would urge you to vote no on reconsideration. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Attorney Resnick, so voting no would mean that this would be reconsidered, or?
A no vote, reconsideration fails, so there'd be no more further.
Right.
Item, and the original vote stands.
Okay, so my vote is no.
Cardozo?
No.
Ianiri?
No.
Farwell?
No.
Lally?
No.
Mendez?
No.
Monahan?
No.
Nicastro?
No.
Rodriguez?
No.
Thompson?
No.
10 in opposition.
Reconsideration fails. Thank you, councilors. Item number 20.
Appointment of Manuel Centeio of 29 Kenneth Ave, Brockton, to the Brockton Community Cable Television Board for a 3-year term ending March 2024. In City Council, March 22nd, 2021, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
Question before you is on confirmation by a roll call vote. If there's no discussion, would the clerk please call the roll?
Azak?
Yes.
Cardozo?
Yes.
Ianiri?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Mendez?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
Castro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
The appointment is confirmed. Item 21.
Appointment of John McGarry of 68 Cambo Street, Brockton, to the Brockton License Commission as an alternate for a 3-year term ending March 2024. In City Council, March 22nd, 2021, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
The question before you is on confirmation by a roll call vote. If there's no discussion, would the clerk please call the roll?
Azak?
Yes.
Cardozo?
Yes.
Eaniri?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Mendez?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
The appointment is confirmed.
Ordered acceptance and expenditure of donated funds from the Cape Verdean Association to be used towards the purchase of a new K-9 and equipment as needed for the Brockton Police Department in the amount of $1,000. In City Council, March 22nd, 2021, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
The question before you is on adoption by a roll call vote. If there's no discussion, the clerk will call the roll.
Azak?
Yes.
Cardozo?
Yes.
Eaniri?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Mendez?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
The order is adopted. Item 23.
Ordered acceptance and expenditure of a donation in the amount of $50,000 from an anonymous donor to the City of Brockton Police Department. In City Council, March 22nd, 2021, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
The question before you is on adoption by a roll call vote. If there's no discussion, the clerk will call the roll.
Azak?
Yes.
Cardozo?
Yes.
Eaniri?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Mendez?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
The order is adopted. 24.
Ordered acceptance and expenditure of the total grant award in the amount of $5,000 from the National Crime Victims' Rights Week Community Awareness Project Subgrant Award to the City of Brockton Police Department National Crime Victims' Rights Week Community Awareness Project Subgrant Award Fund. In City Council, March 22nd, 2021, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
Question before you is on adoption by a roll call vote. If there is no discussion, the clerk will call the roll.
Azak?
Yes.
Cardozo?
Yes.
Eaniri?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Mendez?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
The order is adopted. Item number 25.
Ordered acceptance and expenditure of the total grant award in the amount of $9,240 from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Department of Public Health, Bureau of Substance Addiction Services, BSAS, FY 2021 First Responders Naloxone Grant to the City of Brockton Police Department, fiscal year 2021 First Responders Naloxone Grant. Fund. In City Council, March 22nd, 2021, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
Mr. President,
Councillor DeCastro.
I just wanted to say before we take our vote,
Yes.
okay. Last week, when they came in front of us on this matter, the head of grants for the police department, Michelle St. James, reported that last year the police department used 60 doses of Narcan, okay, here in Brockton. And I reached out to the fire chief after the meeting to find out how many the fire department used during the year 2020. And I found out it was 276. And so I just wanted to make all that information available to you as we vote on this. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome, Councillor. The question before you is on adoption by a roll call vote. If there's no further discussion, the clerk will call the roll.
Azak?
Yes.
Cardozo?
Yes.
Eaniri?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Mendez?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
I think it's going to be amended by a few councillors. Item number 26.
Yes. Ordered, acceptance and expenditure of the total grant award in the amount of $1,300 from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Department of Health 2021 Massachusetts Unwanted Opioid and Benzodiazepine Product Stewardship Program to the City of Brockton Police Department 2021 Massachusetts Unwanted Opioid and Benzodiazepine Product Stewardship Program Grant Fund. In City Council, March 22nd, 2021, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
Question is on adoption by a roll call vote. If there's no discussion, the clerk will call the roll.
Azak?
Yes.
Cardoza?
Yes.
Eaniri?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Mendez?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
The order is adopted. Item number 27.
Ordered, transfer of $492,000 from stabilization fund to fire department capital for $200,000, information technology center capital for $136,000, planning and economic development capital for $120,000, and weights and measures capital for $36,000. In City Council, March 8th, 2021, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
Question is on adoption by a roll call vote. If there's no further discussion, the clerk will call the roll.
Azak?
Yes.
Cardoza?
Yes.
Eaniri?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Mendez?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
The order is adopted. Item number 28.
Ordered, transfer of $11,389,487 from the stabilization fund to various departments such as animal control, auditing, finance department, human resources, law department, library, mayor's office, parks and recreation, public property, schools, and treasurer collector. In City Council, March 8th, 2021, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
Councilors, the question is on adoption by a roll call vote. If there is no further discussion, the clerk will call the roll.
Azak?
Yes.
Cardoza?
Yes.
Cruise? Sorry, Eaniri?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Mendez?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
The order is adopted. Item number 29.
Ordered pursuant to provisions of General Laws, Chapter 43, Section 59A, as appears below, an election shall be held to fill said vacancy of the position of Ward One Councilor. In City Council, March 22nd, 2021, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
Councilors, I filed this, but you have a home rule petition pending that will be heard, and I would ask that a councilor move to postpone this to the next city council
I
meeting.
make a motion to move this item to the next city council meeting.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded to postpone this to the next city council meeting. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Azak?
Yes.
Cardoza?
Yes.
Eaniri?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Mendez?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
Matter postponed to the next city council meeting. Item number 30.
Resolved that the City Council, in conjunction with its Legislative Council, establish an ad hoc committee to discuss and make recommendations for considerations by the City Council for amendments to the City Council, for amendments to the city ordinances and/or city charter relative to the functions, responsibility, job description, and accountability of the positions of City Clerk, Assistant City Clerk, and the Clerk of the Council. In City Council, March 22nd, 2021, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
The question before you is adoption by a roll call vote. If there is no further discussion, the clerk will call the roll.
Azak?
Yes.
Cardozo?
Yes.
Eaniri?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Mendez?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
The resolve is adopted. Orders, number 31, please.
Ordinance, an ordinance amending Article 3, Division 2, Section 2-127, pay plan. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Brockton, Article 3, Section 2-127 is hereby amended by striking $25,000 in the rate column for Director of Emergency Management and inserting in its place $35,568.
Referred to Chairman Eaniri and the Ordinance Committee. Item 32.
Ordered that Chapter 39, Section 23D of the Massachusetts General Laws be and hereby is accepted by the City of Brockton. Said Section 23D, judiciary hearing, absent member. A copy of this order which you've received.
Referred to the Finance Committee. 33.
Ordered that the City Council of the City of Brockton petitions the Great and General Court for special legislation relating to the City of Brockton to be filed with an attested copy of this order be and hereby is approved under the provisions of Clause 1, Section 8 of Article 2, as amended, of the Articles of Amendments to the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, to the end that legislation be adopted as follows, except for clerical or editorial changes of form only. Petition for special law, reference filling vacancies of Brockton City Council ward seats during the year 2021.
Referred to the Finance Committee. Item number 34.
Ordered that the common necessity and convenience of the inhabitants of the City of Brockton require the laying out and acceptance of Gloucester Street, extending from Pinehurst Avenue easterly to Anadia Road, a distance of 1,051.42 feet, more or less, and for that purpose, it is necessary to take an easement for highway purposes and lay out as a public street or way of said City of Brockton.
Referred to the Finance Committee and the Planning Board.
Ordered pursuant, number 35, ordered pursuant to Chapter 20, Section 20-2 of the Revised Ordinances of the City of Brockton, the street to be constructed as part of the so-called Trinity Development between Main Street and Montello Street, and which will intersect with Petronelli Way, shall be named Marvin Hagler Drive.
Referred to the Finance Committee. 36.
Ordered acceptance and expenditure of a donation in the amount of $1,000 from Hawkeye Fence, LLC, to the City of Brockton Police Department.
Referred to the Finance Committee.
Ordered,
37.
ordered authorization of the total payment of $341.82 from library, books, periodicals, the bill from 2020.
Referred to Finance. Number 38.
Ordered acceptance and expenditure of the total grant award in the amount of $5,000 from the Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America, Massachusetts Chiefs of Police Association Opioid Prevention Grant to the City of Brockton Police Department, Massachusetts Chiefs of Police Association Opioid Prevention Grant Fund.
Referred to the Finance Committee. Item number 39.
Ordered that the City of Brockton does hereby take in fee in accordance with General Law, Chapter 79, and/or other applicable law, the following described parcels of land to wit: 18 Highland Street. For further reference, see Plymouth County Registry of Deeds Book 41056, pages 144 to 145. Owners Richard and Leneve M. Henry. The amount is $440,000.
Councilors, I think, Mr. Clerk, this was the one that we had a scrivener's error on, isn't it? So am I correct that actually the owner is Raymond Metellus, and it's $420,000?
Correct.
39 and 40 were reversed.
Okay. Councilors, 39 and 40 were reversed with respect to the owner's names and the amounts of money involved. Scrivener's error, if you want to make a note on your agenda. So on the one that we just read, the owner is actually Raymond Metellus, and the amount is $420,000. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item number 40.
Ordered that the City of Brockton does hereby take in fee in accordance with General Law, Chapter 79, and/or other applicable law, the following described parcels of land to wit: 26 Highland Street. For further reference, see Plymouth County Registry of Deeds Book 38395, pages 94 to 95. Owner Raymond Metellus, amount $420,000.
Mr. President, number 39, did you refer it to finance, or is that where it's going?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. If I neglected that, thank you. 39 will go to finance, councilors, and number 40 is referred to finance. Number 41.
Resolved to invite the city clerk for the city of Brockton to appear before a committee of the council as to the workings of the clerk's office.
Referred to the Finance Committee. We now return to the petition of National Grid to install new pole P5-84, 65 feet west of an existing pole. The matter will be by roll call vote.
Azak?
Yes.
Cardozo?
Yes.
Eaniri?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally? Mendez?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
Petition is granted. I believe we have late files,
Mr. President.
Councilor Lally and then Councilor Cardozo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move to introduce a late file.
Second.
I believe the clerk has the late file.
Motion made and seconded to admit a late file.
Mr. President.
Those in favor by hand vote.
Okay.
All those opposed, it's admitted. Clerk, you have the late file from Councilor Lally.
Communication from the parking director requesting a transfer of $3,000 from parking authority full-time salaries to personnel services overtime. The transfer will be used to pay overtime from April to June 2021. And then a communication from the mayor recommending the same, and a communication from the CFO relative to the same. And then the order is that the city council provide authorization to transfer monies from parking authority full-time salaries to overtime for $3,000.
All right, the transfer is referred to finance. The communications are accepted and filed. Councilor Cardozo?
I was going to ask if the late file vote would apply to my late file as well, or if you needed another vote.
Just another motion.
Okay, so motion to accept the late file.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to accept the late file. All in favor by hand vote. All opposed. Late file is admitted. Madam Clerk?
Resolved, whereas on November 25th, 2019, the Brockton City Council adopted 26B to 26E inclusive of Chapter 111 of the Massachusetts General Laws in accordance with Section 26A of Chapter 111 of the Massachusetts General Laws. Whereas adoption of Mass General Law, Chapter 111, 26A, permits the City of Brockton to replace the Board of Health with a Health Department consisting of a Commissioner of Health who shall perform and exercise duties and powers of a Board of Health with the advice of an Advisory Council of Health. Whereas adoption of Mass General Law, Chapter 111, subsection 26B, permits the mayor of a city, with the approval of the City Council, to appoint a Commissioner of Health in accordance with said provisions. Therefore, the following resolve is proposed to commence discussions and planning for feasibility and implementation of a health department in the City of Brockton. Be it resolved that the mayor, director of the Board of Health, and chief financial officer come before the Finance Committee to discuss establishment of a health department consistent with the city's adoption of Mass General Law, Chapter 111, subsection 26A through E, and to inform the council of any planning and financial considerations for implementation of said health department.
Referred to the Finance Committee. Councilors, item number 37 was a $341.82 bill owed from FY 2020. The chair would inquire, is anyone interested in suspending the rules and acting on this tonight rather than sending that to finance? If not, that's fine.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to suspend the rules and act on that tonight. All in favor by hand vote? All opposed? Would the clerk please call the roll?
37.
37, yes.
Azak?
Yes.
Cardozo?
Yes.
Eaniri?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Mendez? Yes. Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
The order is approved. Councilor recognitions or any other late files? Councilor Azak.
Thank you, Mr. President. Moment of council's recognition.
Yes.
I would just like to thank the Mayor's Office, the Board of Health, Neighborhood Health, and the National Guard for really doing an amazing job the last few weekends when the city did a vaccine rollout at the Shaw Center. I've received many thank yous and good comments, good feedback from residents and employees of the City of Brockton who were able to get vaccinated. So I just want to make sure that we thank them and that it's a job well done. Thank you.
Councilor Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, as you know, in the City of Brockton, we have lost over 400 residents of the city due to COVID-19. And the passing has brought a great deal of pain and burden on these families. But we received some okay news, or some good news, not too long ago, that the federal government is actually making some funding available to assist the families that have lost loved ones. This is going to be done through FEMA. And one of the things that I like to see, I mean, the requirements aren't that hard. It doesn't really matter where the individual that actually passed came from, their legal status, but the only requirement on the applicant side of things is that they are U.S. citizens or carriers of the green card. And they're actually going to make available up to $9,000 to reimburse the families for funeral cost. And my wish is to see often our city is left behind when it comes to funding and taking advantage of situations. So it's my wish that we see the 400 plus families that actually have been affected by this disease and have lost their loved ones to apply for and acquire the funding from the federal government so that they can lessen the burden on themselves. Or I know some cases where individuals went out and borrowed money from other individuals to compensate and pay for funeral expenses. So my hope is to work with every single one of those families. We've made the association available to work with individuals to help them in this process, but to make sure that every single person that's qualified to receive these funds do go after these funds for the good of their families and good of the community. So I just wanted to leave it out to here, and anybody that has any question can call any of us. It's actually on the FEMA website, designed and designated pretty clearly, funeral assistance. And it is my hope that we all encourage our people to go after these funds to be able to lessen this burden. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Anyone else? Just a reminder, councilors, we will be meeting Tuesday because Monday is the holiday. So April 20th will be the FinCom meeting at 7 o'clock. And if there's no further business, meeting is adjourned.